And we're back, you guys. Super Bowl week. It's in a couple days. The Patriots and the Seahawks. I want to talk to the person that had this as the Super Bowl before the season started. I really want to talk to that person if they exist. I know a Seahawks fan would say, yeah, every year the Seahawks Super Bowl. And a Patriot fan would say, yeah, go Pats. We will make big moves this year. But I need to talk to the person that got both of them right. I'll buy them dinner, I'm telling you. Because I did not see this. It don't exist. Nobody saw this coming. I don't care how smart you think you are. But we're going to start with you, and who do you like and why?
Well, this is a loaded question. Seattle, to me, is the more complete team. I just got a bad feeling the Patriots. Mike Vrabel will be finding a way to
He does.
with his teams. Whether
He does.
he's got the better team or not.
It don't matter. It don't matter.
But who I'm gonna pick? I'm gonna pick Seattle. And not just because I'm rooting for them.
Okay.
I think they are gonna really, really get after Drake May.
I got you.
And I'm not going to say that Drake May is not as good as people are saying. He's not as great as people are saying.
Okay, I got you.
Understand what I'm saying?
I can appreciate that. Yeah.
These playoffs, his numbers are. I was watching a graphic not too long ago.
Pretty pedestrian, huh?
Biggest drop from what he did in the playoffs to what he's doing in the postseason.
You mean the regular season to the
From
postseason?
regular season to the postseason.
To the postseason, right.
He's right there among the top 5. Now, I'm trying to remember who the other 4 quarterbacks were. One of them was, I think, 06, the year Peyton Manning won. You know Peyton Manning has never been good in the playoffs.
Right.
He did win the Super Bowl that year, but remember, his defense was lights out.
The Broncos year.
No, the Colts.
The Colts year? Okay.
When he won the Super Bowl with the Colts.
When they beat the Bears.
He
beat Rex Grossman, man.
He was terrible. He literally was terrible in the playoffs. They still won the Super Bowl because Bob Sanders was flying through the line of scrimmage, doesn't care about his body or whatever.
Right.
Okay.
Right. I got you.
Flacco was in there in 08. Remember, Neil, he was a rookie. That was his rookie year.
And went to the AFC Championship game.
Went to the AFC. So it doesn't matter that his numbers wasn't that great. He was a rookie. What you expect? I knew he was going to lose that AFC Championship game to y'all. But
that had me a little worried. I was at that game. That had me a little worried. I ain't gonna lie.
I can't remember who the other quarterbacks were, but his name was right there. So if he plans on having his defense play like the Ravens did in 08 when we lost to y'all, and what Peyton Manning's defense did is if everybody for his team is Stephon Diggs gonna have 200 yards, everybody just ball out. Okay, fine. If not, I'm saying Kenneth Walker, JSN, the receiver for Seattle.
He's the number one. He's the number one receiver in the NFL to me.
This safety, Nick, I can't.
Wari.
I can't.
He a beast.
This cat is a video game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Seattle.
Seattle. All right, nephew, what you got?
So, I always look at what they've done during the season. I know the playoffs are different, but they won every game. Seattle has won every game they're supposed to win. And the ones they lost, the two of their losses were division opponents. They split. The Niners and the Rams. That's
the Rams.
The only game they lost that they should have won was against Tampa Bay. Everybody else they beat. Now they didn't have the most difficult schedule.
They didn't.
If you look at their schedule, it was kind of like middle tier. Somebody say it was a cupcake schedule, but they did what they were supposed to do, man. So all that to say is, I'm going to frame it. If Sam Darnold does not turn the ball over, Seattle wins, hands down. Seattle wins. I think it's going to be competitive, but Seattle got them. They're to Ed's point. They're the more complete team. They can run the football. We know they can pass the football. They don't get greedy in the sense that Sam Darnold's pretty conservative anyway.
Mm-hmm.
If it's there, he'll take the deep shot, but if you only give them underneath, they'll just matriculate down the field. So
Right.
yeah, I have a good feeling about Seattle. Again, no knock on New England, a very good team, man.
Yeah,
But to me, they have a few more flaws than Seattle does. So
I've been going back and forth with this because between the Steelers and the Ravens, y'all just played New England. We played Seattle and New England. And we split. Seattle beat us in our home opener, the second game of the year, 31-17. The score wasn't indicative of how well we played then. It was tied late in the third quarter. We played with Seattle. Jalen Warren busted them. I'm just telling you, giving you the data. They have a number one defense. Jalen Warren busted them. DK got off on him a little bit. He's used to them. He's played against them twice a year for the past several years. Rodgers threw 2 touchdowns. We ran the ball. Again, the second game of the year, they're probably not the same team they are now. They're way better. I think if we played them now, they would probably destroy us. But we didn't play them now. We played them in the second game of the year. And they won on defense and special teams. We intercepted Sam Darnold twice. He tried to give us the game, but Seattle's defense didn't let us score anymore. We didn't score in the fourth quarter. And they scored 2 touchdowns in the fourth quarter. And one of them was a special teams touchdown. They had, I think, like the best special teams in football. They beat us on defense and special teams. And it doesn't matter how you win, as long as you win the game. So I'm looking at, then there's the flip side. We threw some stuff at Sam Darnold that I'm not going to say he's never seen before. We just executed. Then we went to Gillette, I think the following week. We played Seattle and New England. We got a 14-0 on Drake. Again, we beat New England in Gillette, in New England, 21-14. But I don't think that score is indicative of how we dominated New England. I'm telling you, we forced 5 turnovers against them. Interceptions, fumbles, and these aren't just deflections. These passes are reads, jump routes, and forced fumbles knocking the ball out. Ramondre fumbled twice. We picked Drake May off twice, and somebody else fumbled. And I'm looking at this and looking at the New England now, and I don't think they're the same team as we played them in the third game of the year, earlier this year. We physically manhandled New England. And 21-14, again, it's just a victory. So what I struggle with is Vrabel is one of these crafty, sneaky, a little underhanded. Vrabel got some dirt under his nails. Exactly. Vrabel got some dirt under his nails. He is a little dirty, and I think he's willing to do whatever it takes to win this game. And I don't want to be the guy that just keeps picking someone to do bad, and then when they finally do bad, be like, oh, see, I told you. I've been doing this to Sam Darnold all playoffs. Oh, he going to blow it. And he hasn't done it. I don't want to be that guy, y'all.
Y'all been saying bad, man.
It's me. I'm the number one skeptic when it comes to him. But when the man is balling, I got to acknowledge him. I had to acknowledge Kyle Shanahan two episodes ago. I had to acknowledge Zay Flowers earlier this year. Even Rashad had to acknowledge Lamar. If Rashad can do it, I know I can do it. So I'm picking Seattle only because I think Seattle was so good. Sam Darnold got 20 turnovers, 14 interceptions, and 6 fumbles, and led the NFL. I think Seattle was so good that even if Darnold turns it over twice, they can still win. Drake May can't turn it over twice.
Yeah.
No. Drake May will fumble it. He'll cough it up. Steelers forced one on him early this year, and we're nowhere near Seattle. He'll cough. They both will fumble, but I think Sam is a little more prone to interceptions than Drake. Drake doesn't throw a lot of interceptions. I like him for that. He takes care of the ball a little better. Give me Seattle. And I'm going to go ahead before I change my mind again, just say Seattle. And Sam Darnold is going to have a Super Bowl before a lot of other quarterbacks, namely Joe Burrow and Lamar Jackson.
Don't get Ed started.
No. It's crazy. It's us.
Meanwhile, we about to negotiate with Lamar again. Yeah, but I'm not even
Okay, here we go. He gonna take Sean away.
But I digress.
Yeah, he already said it though.
Now, man.
What you got there? What's
I'm
up?
like you. I've been going back and forth.
Look, here's the reason I struggle. And hold that thought. Don't lose it, because I want to hear what you got to say. But here's the reason I struggle, and I wasn't just unanimously picking Seattle. Look at Mike Vrabel's team. His number one receiver is Stephon Diggs. They gave a guy in the twilight his career fresh money, and Stephon's been balling.
Yes.
Do you know who their number 2 and number 3 receivers are?
Booty
and DeMario Douglas. He's in a Super Bowl with his number 2 and number 3 receiver, Booty and Douglas, and a fringe tight end. He's okay, but he ain't Travis Kelce. And their running back is Ramondre and the boy out of Ohio State. Travion Henderson, really good. But Ramondre, the Steelers forced 2 fumbles on him. He fumbles. I'm looking at all these holes that New England has, and they still here.
Yeah.
The quarterback will cough it up, but don't throw interceptions. Vrabel has a ton of playoff experience, not the best playoff record. They got a second-year quarterback. They're starting 2 rookies at safety. Their safeties are 2 rookies. What they doing here in the Super Bowl? Nobody can figure it out. So a lot of people call it a team of destiny. They could be that.
Sometimes matchups. They got the right matchups, in the playoffs. And I give them credit for that. I give them all credit for that Denver game. That was a hard game to win, man.
Absolutely.
Anybody could have won that.
It was. Even though the 1 touchdown they scored was a gift, but again,
they won it. You can't make mistakes.
Say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead. No, you got it.
Okay, we was talking about these coaching trees. Last Parcells, his coaching tree, Belichick, and that Mike Vrabel. Sean Payton, before his Super Bowl, back when he was with the Saints, I never forget an interview with him. He was talking to his mentor, Bill Parcells. He was like, "What do I need to do to win this game?" And Parcells told him, to win the Super Bowl, sometimes you got to be willing to do something daring. Not reckless, not crazy, not too conservative, but daring. And we remember that onside kick. And that if he wouldn't have did that, now if the Colts would have recovered that ball, absolutely. They had all the momentum. They was leading at the time. I think they win the game.
Right.
But if Sean Payton wouldn't have tried that, he would have lost the game. I got you. Back in the day, Bill Cowher
against the Cowboys.
An onside kick in the Super Bowl.
We had a long touchdown drive, then did an onside kick and went back and scored another touchdown.
Serious cojones. Everybody talk about, we're going to be aggressive. But to actually, we tried a fake field goal in the last Super Bowl. It didn't work. But that sent a message to our team. We not even settle for 3. We was blowing them out when we tried it.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Make the 3 points.
Right.
Shaw was sitting right next to me. He was saying, even though it didn't work, Shaw said, I like it. So to win the Super Bowl, sometimes you have to do something that maybe you wouldn't normally do. This is where Mike Vrabel comes in. I can see him doing. I got a story for this.
Yeah, I
want to hear it.
When we played New England, I think it was their home opener. I don't know. It was the 3rd game of the year. Steelers came out world beaters. They just One long drive, 70-yard touchdown, 7-0 Steelers. New England gets the ball back, 3 and out. Steelers get the ball back, another 7-8 minute drive touchdown. Now Vrabel's on the sideline like, so it's 14-0. We kicked the ball and we exchanged some possessions just before halftime, maybe 6 to 7 minutes ago in the second quarter. We punt the ball off to New England. We get them inside that 10-yard line. Maybe 15. I definitely wasn't at the 20. They were at like the 12-yard line. It was a 3rd and 2, and they ran it, and we stopped them. It was 4th and 1. Vrabel went for it at his own 12.
Down 14-0.
Down 14-0. See, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, and then you just mentioned about sending a message to your team. You know what New England did on that drive? They scored a touchdown to make it 14-7. We went to halftime. If he don't get that, it's either 17 or 21-0. The rest of the team looked at that decision. First of all, I get we're in the age of going forward on 4th down. But at your own 12 down 2 touchdowns, and you haven't proven you can stop the Steelers today.
And that's my point. It's
oh my God!
Thing to do that in week 2 or 3 against Pittsburgh. It's another thing to be down 14-0, 4th and 1 or whatever on your own yard line and go for it in the Super Bowl. It's entirely
Yeah.
He might do it.
Well, is this parlays into another? Because if New England wins it, I wouldn't. I mean, I've never been a fan, but this is a new England team. This ain't Belichick's opinion. I don't even see them as. You still won't be happy? Really?
Rhode Island, Connecticut, Massachusetts.
It's the fans.
Vermont, all of them.
Some of the biggest snobs. I mean, if you have ever known.
I used to work with a bunch of them.
Oh, my
goodness. We'll call it the Northeast. Anything above New York, yeah.
This stuff don't stink.
Yeah, I know. It's crap. I work with a bunch of them knuckleheads, and I work with office supply company. I ain't gonna say that.
I'm counting on Sam Darnold and my
I got you.
Our former D coordinator. That's another reason I'm rooting for Seattle. Mike McDonald.
You want Mike McDonald to get it? He's a good coach. He's a good coach. He is. He got them boys whipped into shape, no question. And even when he was here in B-More, y'all were top 5 and everything. Yeah, y'all were. As soon as he left, the line of demarcation was ridiculous.
Now you need to not get Percy started on.
I'm good. I'm good enough. Y'all know my stance.
Is that a separate episode, y'all? No. So this begs the question, because Drake May was in the MVP runnings. I think it's unanimous that even Shaw said he's not here. I don't know what's going on. That was ridiculous that he was even a candidate.
Yeah, it was absurd.
But he is their franchise, and he could be there for the next 15 years. They have their guy, MVP and none. Sam Darnold may not necessarily be Seattle's guy. I'm air quoting it.
Right.
So what is the better path? Get your franchise quarterback, hope he makes enough plays to get you to the dance, or get a tier 2 quarterback, pay him $30 a year like Seattle's doing, and stack the cupboard with everybody else. They both took 2 different paths to get here. They haven't had to pay Drake May because he's just in his 2nd year. But when it comes time to pay him, it's going to be 50s. It goes up each year. But he's here. So I'm going to name the highest paid quarterbacks, and then the tier 2 guys like the boy Stroud, C.J. Stroud for Houston's tier 2. Sam Darnold is in the Super Bowl. Dak Prescott's tier 2. But he's tier 2, but he's making like $60 a year. I'm talking about the tier 2 guys that are 30 to 32 that allow you to pay other people, which is what Seattle's doing. Or do you want a Mahomes that you pay 40 to 45, and he can get you to the dance and win it?
Look, I'm interested to hear what Percy had to say about this, and then I'll go after him.
What's the better path?
So we talking philosophical, how to build a team? Is that?
Well, I don't know if it's just philosophical or because both paths have gotten results. But we all just picked Seattle to win, and they took path number 2, pay a tier 2 quarterback 30 to 32 and keep that defense intact. Or, and they haven't won yet, but we picked them to win. Let's say Seattle wins. Or you could take the Mahomes route, or the KC Chiefs route. Mahomes makes so many plays, he's got 3. And,
I will say this. It's always good to look at history. If you look at statistically, historically, teams with elite quarterbacks won more Super Bowls than not than those.
The teams, I got you.
That said, I'm a conservative. I like building the framework, building your team, winning in the trenches, making sure you got the big boys up front on both sides of the football first.
I agree.
Make sure your special teams is sound. Make sure you got a few. You ain't gotta have dogs at wide receiver, but 1 or 2 serviceable, above average receivers, a good running back. That's where I'm at with it. Because let's say, and the reason I say that is because guys are more fragile these days. These elite quarterbacks getting hurt a lot easier, even though it's more favorable to the QB and the offense.
Mm-hmm.
But if you have all that together, you still can be successful if your QB goes down. Mm-hmm. Right? I mean, we're a case in point. I mean, we had numerous opportunities to win a playoff game with Snoop. And he wet the bed. I mean, he was in it. He was 6 inches away from winning the game against Cincinnati.
Cincinnati.
It is because we had a well-rounded, solid team. You always have a chance. So,
right.
I mean, my problem with the elite quarterback is the salary cap. If we didn't have a salary cap, it's just you can't get around it. It's going to burn you at some point. Kansas City's dealing with it now.
Yep.
Baltimore is continuing to deal with it. Other teams are going to have to deal with it. I mean, it's just.
You know who else dealing with it? The Rams.
Yeah.
Only because they're paying Matt Stafford a pretty healthy salary, and he's worth every penny of it. But did you know the Rams had the lowest paid defense? They're 32 in the NFL.
Yeah, sure.
And when it came down to it, they couldn't get Sam Darnold off the field. And he's tier 2. Yeah, so...
You know what skews it a little bit? The contract that Tom Brady took. Because we know he was elite. But with New England, he gave him a team-friendly deal. Patrick Mahomes, the last few years, team-friendly deal.
They're like 10 players.
Yeah. But they thinking, they're like, wait a minute, I need guys around me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's the point about that framework, you know?
Not getting me started on these greedy quarterbacks. Because this is another conversation. Once again, I'll get into the whole Mahomes and like what you said, Percy, Brady. We'll get into that one day if and when Lamar gets traded, you know. But for now, let me
if and when, huh?
For now, let me answer your question.
Okay.
Neil, I don't think there is any answer, and I think the fact that these two teams have made it here, taking different paths, shows that there's no answer to that question.
Mm-hmm.
That's true. Different formulas and still got there.
And I heard, hey, what's up, Sean? And I heard Ozzie Newsome say this one time.
Background noise, Sean. Background noise.
Okay. You know how it's a copycat league, and everybody will start. If a team wins a Super Bowl,
there we go.
Then all of a sudden, everybody will start following, doing what they did, and it may not necessarily work. But Ozzie said that some basic things in football will never change. You got to play good defense. You got to run the ball. You got to play special teams. You got to have good coaching. You got to have good ownership. Now, how you tinker with those things may change, but those are the basic things that will never change. We saw the Rams back in the day win the Super Bowl with Kurt Warner and them lighting up the league. And you know what, by the way, a couple of those games, like their NFC Championship game, you might not remember, was a close defensive battle. This is the Rams we talking about.
And they still found a way to win.
They won the game against Tony Dungy and them, Warren Sapp and them. I think the final score was like 13-6, something like that. See? So there is no, you know, if
it's no perfect way, basically.
There's no perfect way.
There's no perfect way. I got
football
you.
is hard, man. Football is difficult. You can't just say if we do this, it's going to work. It don't work like that. It's probably the most difficult sport of all the sport. I know baseball is a sport of failure, but my God, football is insane.
Yeah.
Everything got to come together.
See, the issue with this franchise quarterback is there was a time when you drafted. I can barely hear myself talk.
Yeah.
Sure, what's going on? Can you hear me?
Got a fan blowing or something?
Sure.
All right, is that better?
Yeah, I heard you.
Well, it's okay. What I was saying was the issue with. I guess that's it right there. Whatever you did.
There you go. Whatever you did, that's it. Right?
Yeah, that's it. Sound like a machine was running in the background. The failure rate for drafting these franchise quarterbacks is less successful than it is successful.
Yeah.
I know we're looking at the ones that are making it, that made it, and even if they haven't won a Super Bowl, you look at the Ravens, they're going to be in it next year, guaranteed. They're going to be in it. It doesn't matter, but there was a time when you drafted a quarterback, and if he failed, you stuck with him. You put him in second string. Steelers drafted Kenny Pickett. In 3 years, he was in another team's uniform. The Patriots came off of Mac Jones. The Giants are getting ready to come off of Jackson Dart. They're not messing around with these boys. You got 2, maybe 3 years. The Patriots only gave Mac Jones 3. We gave Kenny Pickett 2, and in year 3, he was in his Eagles uniform. So nowadays, it's like, okay, go. You're on the clock.
Yeah, exactly.
2 seasons, you're not in, go. Let's do it again. I don't like that. You're using a first rounder on these guys. So I like it happens more of drafting the stud quarterback in the first round. But it doesn't the success rate isn't enough for me to say I'm going to use a first rounder on a quarterback. And then we're going to load the box, go win a couple Super Bowls. I don't see that happening enough. I know Kansas City did it, but they got Mahomes in the teens. Mahomes is not in the top 10. Right. The Ravens got Lamar in the 20s.
30.
Still first.
30 seconds.
End of the first round.
So thank you for
Go
ahead.
Wasn't he like 10th?
He was high. Josh Allen.
Okay.
Burrow was high.
Yeah.
He was high. He's expensive, So I think the way Seattle has done it is the way, I agree with you, nephew. That's how I would try and build my team. That's how now, you may not necessarily get a Super Bowl quarterback in free agency. I'm looking at free agency right now, it is trash out there.
Yeah.
It is nothing. If they're not currently on your roster at this day of February 5th, 2026, you're in trouble. Because the only thing out there right now is Malik Willis. That is it. He's a bridge. And he only played good under LaFleur. You think he's going to play that well if Jacksonville gets him, the Steelers get... LaFleur's great with quarterbacks. He played that game against Shaw. I ain't never seen that boy play like that.
Like Joe Montana.
Like Doug Williams out there.
Swinging that ball around the field. I'm like, now I've seen him play before. I ain't never seen this.
Yeah.
Man, you get out of here with this. This ain't really you.
That's more of an indictment on our previous coaching staff. But anyway.
Here we go. Here we go. What's up?
The question that you asked me and Percy about these two teams in their past.
Okay, Sean, who you like for the Super Bowl, little bro? And why?
I was struggling with this.
Me too.
My method I had for choosing it evened out. It came out even. So I'm just going to have to go with my gut then. I'll just go with Seattle just because of defense. I'm just going with defense.
Because we all pick Seattle, New England will win. Watch.
All 4 of us pick Seattle, Sean.
No.
I couldn't decide. I have a formula for it. I have a formula that's pretty fail-safe, and it came out even. And usually the tiebreaker is home field advantage, but it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
So
I know.
I didn't have any way to. So I just go with my gut. I go with defense.
Right. Yeah. I don't trust that Vrabel. Vrabel got something up his sleeve.
Yeah.
He got something up his sleeve.
I hope they win by 3 touchdowns.
these
Hey,
new age,
man, we want something to see.
these new age defensive coordinators, man. I was watching a video on the strategy of Mike McDonald and Mentor. They have something going, man. You know how fads will come along, like I don't want to call it a fad, but something will be invented, and then others will start copying. Like you had the West Coast offense, then you had the zone blitz that Dick LeBeau invented, and now everybody has some form of the zone blitz. Everybody has some form of the West Coast offense. Even if you're a power run team, you have some form of the West Coast offense in your offense. I don't have a name for it yet, for what Mentor and McDonald are doing, but it's going to get a name, and people are going to start copying. I watched a long video on the strategy they're using, man, and it was really interesting. And it was saying how they don't so much call plays as they call assignments at the 3 levels. So they'll call the assignments for the front line, the D line. Then they'll make a call for the secondary level, the linebackers. Then they'll make a call for the secondary. They'll just make those 3 calls. There is no play. You see what I'm saying? There's no play name.
The scheme.
They'll say, okay, call for the front line, call for the linebackers, call for the safeties, right? And all y'all know what to do. Y'all secondary know what to do. Linebackers, based on the call I made, linebacker call, D-line I made a call. So everybody knows what to do, but there's no name for the actual play. So and then he can mix and match. They mix and match. So if he notices something that the D-line is getting beat, but the secondary and the linebackers are playing well, then he changes the call for the D-line in the secondary, and the linebackers are playing the same. So they're calling plays, but it's only for a certain line of defense. And I thought that was really interesting. And when McDonald first came to Baltimore, he said something that he didn't go into that detail. I guess he didn't want to let the cat out the bag, but he said something like, I'm not really installing plays. This is when the Ravens weren't playing well. He said, I'm not really installing plays, but I'm just telling players what to do. He kind of alluded to it. And that's going to catch on, man. It's going to catch on because this Seattle defense and what Mentor did in San Diego, the Ravens have – I looked at these rosters. The Ravens have far more talent on defense than the Chargers in Seattle.
No question.
So how in God's name did the Ravens finish 25th and Seattle is in the top 5? They won in yardage? If not one, they were top 5, and the Chargers were top 5, or at least top 10 this year.
Sure.
All the Chargers have Derwin James. They have they have Khalil Mack, who only played, I believe, half the season and is a shell of. And he's still okay, but he's a shell of what he was.
They got a cornerback.
Man.
They got a really good cornerback. One of the old cornerback sons plays on the Chargers.
Oh, Asante Samuel?
Yeah.
Okay.
No. We got Asante Samuel Jr.
Okay.
They got I can't think of his name right now. They got a really good quarterback.
Okay. Yeah. So we cut Tony Jefferson. Okay. We cut Tony Jefferson. And then I turn on Monday Night Football, and he out there looking like Ronnie Lott or something. Troy Polamalu people. In blitz. This man is old as I don't know what about in football years. So they know something, man. They've invented a defense. They just need to come up with a name for it. People are going to start copying it. And I hope the Ravens can get some success before everybody else starts copying. Because they're on.
Listen,
they're on.
I gave my prediction about what I think Mentor is going to do to the Ravens defense. And I told you specifically, because y'all don't like Roquan's his past 2 years. It looks like his arrow's pointing down. I don't think so. I think he's going to have a career year. This is my second or third time saying it. I think the biggest beneficiary of Minter being there is going to be Roquan.
I agree with you. He gonna fix him.
It's going to be Roquan. That's all he needs. You need to be told what to do sometimes. Even though he's your green dot, you still need the tutelage. You still need the instruction. So you just said when Minter was in San Diego taking less talent. That's no different from this new D coordinator we got with Patrick Graham. Ravens finished 25th total. We finished 28th. All that talent?
Yeah.
Are you serious? This boy with a past, you know what? I didn't know. I'm finding it difficult to follow this coaching hires from this team right here. It's because I don't know a lot of them. McCarthy's the only one I know. They went out and just got a O-line coach I've never heard of. Or OC I have heard of but don't know anything about him. And I don't know anything about the defense coordinator. So I got a lot of research to do. But what I have paid attention to is, well, when they hired Tomlin, I didn't know nothing about him, to be perfectly honest with you. I wanted Russ Grimm or Ron Rivera. Remember them two guys? I wanted Rivera. He went to Carolina and won some games, though.
Superbowl.
So he win but lost to the Patriots. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he win but lost to the Patriots, yeah. So I don't know, but this boy Patrick Graham been the Raiders defensive coordinator for 3 years. I pay attention to what, not just the team, the players you coach, the fans, even though we matter or we don't matter, but the coaching staff. What they say after you leave. When Pete Carroll finally was let go, I listened to Locked On Raiders specifically just to get the reaction of when Pete Carroll got let go. They were like, thank God. Good riddance. He coached old, the players were slow, no motivation, no professionalism, no this, no that, it was time. I'm like, man, harsh.
Yeah, he too old.
Then I listen, yeah, he is. It's time. Yeah, he's too old. Then I listened to Locked On Raiders to the reaction when Patrick Graham got hired by the Steelers. It was the opposite. They like, oh my God, he's the only good coach that we got. The Raiders finished 14th in total defense this year.
They did?
14th or 18th. It's in the teens. The Raiders finished higher than the Ravens and the Steelers. He took... Now, Max Crosby is a beast. Now, he's in a prime. But Jeremy Chin is the safety. Like, you look at the talent of the Steelers and look at the... Charlie, you just said it. Look at the talent of the Raiders. It's not even close. It's really like if no games were played and you looked at who the Steelers had, you looked at who the Raiders had, you would flop that defensive position.
Right.
He's managed to have the Raiders in the past 3 years finish like 14th, 19th, and 18th or something like that. Taking nobody's and managing to finish middle of the pack in total defense with the Raiders. So and over the days, last several days, I'm learning more about him. He comes highly recommended. Good interview. Hey, Sean, they asked Patrick Graham about his defensive philosophy. He said his philosophy is, I don't run a 3-4 or a 4-3. He said, I don't run any of that. I run whatever I need to win the game. Right. These young boys are like, forget being locked in, because I'm looking at the most successful teams in the NFL. Mike McDonald may not be locked into a 3-4, 4-3, but predominantly they run 4-3. All the successful teams, Houston's defense, 4-3. New England, 4-3. Seattle, 4-3. The best teams, the best defenses in the NFL, 4-3. For some reason, we still locked into this 3-4. You need the personnel for it. So Patrick Graham said, I'm going to run both. I love hearing it. Do what you have to do to win the game. Don't just be locked into one thing and try to call a perfect play around that. No, we done with that. We done with that. That's what I got to say about it.
Yeah, defense has to come back to the AFC North, man. Even when the teams aren't playing well and many of the teams don't have good records, everyone knew the AFC North was a physical, tough division with good defenses. You know, the only team holding it down, ironically, is the Browns.
Oh, my God. And they got your old boy.
Right. Ironically, they've consistently had a good defense for the past, I can't even tell you how long.
They've been bad.
At least 4 years.
Yeah, the Steelers have been suspect. The Ravens been. The Bengals defense good.
Non-existent.
They the worst.
They've been horrible
They
for
the
a while
worst.
now, man.
Yeah.
So hopefully that can come back. You know, I told you my what I would view as what I would view a successful season for Mentor. Just finish in the top 10, man. Make the playoffs. Only got to win the game. Finish in the top. Oh, beat the
How many
Steelers
wins?
once. That's it.
How many wins?
Just make the
Would you
playoffs.
consider success?
Just
Oh,
make the
you ain't
playoffs.
looking at wins, just getting the playoffs.
Yeah, just make the playoffs, man. If you can get 9 and get in there, 10. Well,
Y'all get more than 9, Sean.
They need 10 at least, man. They need 10.
yeah, I think
y'all
where
get
the Steelers finished. The Steelers got 10 to get in right now.
10-7. That's our favorite record. 3 straight years, 10-7.
I'm
Really?
not even sure if Lamar ever will make it to the Super Bowl, but if he does, the Ravens will have the number 1 seed. He's not going on the road. He's not.
You've been consistent with that,
He's not doing
Ed.
what Flacco used to do. And I know
Right.
people say, "Oh, please, he had the number 1 seed a couple of years ago." Okay, Derrick Henry was not on that team. If Derrick
Okay.
Henry was on that team, we would have dragged the Chiefs from run. No matter what Lamar would have did, he couldn't have messed that one up.
You sure?
The only
You sure?
No, let me tell you. The only thing that would have messed us up that day is maybe if Todd Monken would have got 2 pass happy. And
Exactly.
Not,
The
not
darn
giving the
coaches.
ball to Derrick Henry. But
That's what I'm talking
Derrick
about.
Henry on that team with that defense.
Yeah.
Oh, the 49ers said it after they beat. No, I'm sorry, the Chiefs. After they beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl, I heard several players say, I don't know if they was trying to take shots at the 49ers, but they said the 49ers wasn't the best team we beat. They said it was the
Yeah.
Ravens.
Right.
I heard that too. Yep.
Our running backs were Gus Edwards and J.K. Dobbins. Apologies to them, but come on, we talking Derrick.
Okay.
We would have beat
Right,
them.
right.
And then in the
I
Yeah,
got you.
and J.K. was actually hurt. It was just Gus. J.K. was actually hurt.
He tore his ACL. He's coming back from the ACL surgery.
It was Gus and Justice Hill.
Okay.
So that's to your
Yeah,
point.
I know.
To your point. Yeah.
17.
Our number 2 and our number 3 back.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. We couldn't run it, man. We couldn't run it.
What could have
Hey,
been?
you all notice who's in the Super Bowl, right? 2 of the teams we listed as the same old teams a couple of weeks ago on the podcast. Same old suspects. The Seahawks
As
and
far as
Patriots.
what, like successful organizations?
Yeah. Same old
Yeah,
folks.
yeah.
Same old
Yeah,
folks, man.
it's the way it works.
Yeah.
The way
Yeah.
it works.
It's only like 12 teams or 14 that can win it.
Quarterback.
I mean, who are the successful organizations? What is it, like 10 to 12?
I said
counted.
I counted them on the podcast before last, I think, and I think what we got up to 11.
A third.
Something like that.
Yeah.
11 or
Third of
12.
the league. About a third of the league.
Third of the league. Look, yeah, I said 12.
I don't
One, yeah, I said 12.
All right.
It's crazy.
Yeah, I can go with that. I can go along with that.
Yeah.
Sean, before you got on, we was talking about Percy mentioned these quarterbacks. Now, I'm starting to wonder how many of these quarterbacks really want to win a Super Bowl. And this is what I mean by this. I saw Brady doing an interview a couple of months ago. Somebody asked him, which of these quarterbacks today do you think would do anything to win? Remember how Michael Jordan back in the day would do anything to win?
Just step on your neck.
He maybe would injure some of his relatives to All right.
Mike was crazy.
All right. Which now Brady could have gave several answers. He only picked one.
Mahomes.
Mahomes?
Mahomes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Not Josh Allen. Not Lamar.
Yeah.
Not Dak. Not even Matt Stafford. Who's about to
I would have thought he said Stafford, yeah.
Now,
Interesting.
Here's part of why I think Brady said that. And Percy alluded to this before you logged on, Sean. Okay. The only 2 quarterbacks I know of that have given money back in order
Yes.
to have the better roster so they want to win,
Yep.
the
It's
one
Brady and
who
Mahomes.
with the interview and the
Yep.
one that he mentioned.
Right.
Yep, that's a good
And
point.
by some strange coincidence, the
They
two
got
of
the
most.
them have played in a total
They
of
keep getting back.
15 Super Bowls, and they won 10 of them.
10 of them.
Good stats, Ed. Good stats.
Yes, I love it. Hey, I got another one for you, Ed. Roethlisberger took some team-friendly contracts to keep that team together.
Okay.
Yeah,
So,
they were able to pay AB 50 million.
so
Yeah.
Dak Prescott can talk all about how he no, he doesn't.
No, you're right.
I was Dak Prescott. Now, y'all know how competitive we were. If
Mhm.
Dak Prescott, I'm already making, first of all, I'm already stealing money from the Cowboys. Then
Right.
look at my endorsements. And then just
Yep.
the fact that I'm quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. I don't need
Hey.
I need a better defense.
Oh, Dak's in the 60s. His first digit is a 6, bro.
Come on.
Good night.
Come on. He
Hey,
doesn't-
y'all remember a graphic I sent you all months ago? It was in the off season, and I sent a graphic that showed the quarterback's annual salary or the cap hit, and it ranked it 1 to 32. I think it had all of them in there, all the starting quarterbacks, and the top 10 in salary. None of them had rings. Y'all remember that graphic
No.
I sent out?
Yeah. Actually, I counted. There were 12 quarterbacks making more than Mahomes.
Right.
12. I think he was 13th or 14th.
I think Jalen Hurts was like either 10th. He was near 10, and he has a ring. He was the last one on the list that had a ring, right? So it was like, I can't remember the exact order, but
Jared Goff, Kyler Murray, Tua, Lamar, Josh Allen, they all make more than Mahomes. Prescott,
right.
That's 6 right there. So that's 6 right there to make more than Hurts and Mahomes.
I think Purdy yearly was higher, I believe, because he got his contract.
Oh, really?
I believe.
He's one of them? Oh, wow.
So everybody below the ring started at Jalen Hurts, and he was like 8th, 9th, or 10th, something like that. And after him, so it was Jalen Hurts who has a ring. He'd been in 2 Super Bowls, mind you. And after him, you got like Matthew Stafford, who has won a Super Bowl, came close to getting a few more, and then you have like Mahomes. It's not, and I said in that text that it's not a coincidence, man. It really isn't. And look, in the grand scheme of things, them sacrificing this money isn't going to make a big difference. It's not going to make a big difference in their life, but it just shows your attitude. It's really not making a huge difference in their life. It shows what you're willing to sacrifice to get the ring, which you view as
To win.
Everybody. I'm sure if you were to interview every starting quarterback and put a polygraph machine on them, they would say they want to win a Super Bowl, and they would be telling the truth. Of course, everybody wants to win a Super Bowl. But it's the level at which you're willing to sacrifice to do it. So I'm sure Lamar wants to win. I'm sure Dak wants to win. All these guys want to win a Super Bowl, but what are you willing to sacrifice to do it?
I want to win it.
Sacrifice. So if you were going to make
different degrees.
Yeah, if you were going to be guaranteed, if your contract was $250 million, you were going to be guaranteed $150. Are you willing to be guaranteed $120?
Right.
And someone, I was having this argument in the barbershop, and someone was saying, well, you're not in our shoes. And I was saying, no, I was. Now, all you have to do is just limit this. You just shrink the scale. Because, $100 to me is like 10 to them, or $1 to them. So just shrink the scale. And when we sacrifice salary, it actually means more to us. Because if I sacrifice 10% of my salary, that means a lot more than if Dak sacrifices 10% of his.
10% of his. All right, I got you.
It's just a ratio. That's all. We're all just humans and men trying to take care of families and all of those types of things. Trying to set up our children for the future. That's all we're doing. You just shrink the scale. It's just a ratio. So I have personally taken less for the greater good. I've personally done that before. And it means more to me because I'm not rich. It could take me in a different tax bracket. Whereas if this gentleman goes from $250 million to $220 million, I'm pretty sure you're in the same tax bracket. You're still rich. Right. So it's about what you value, man. That's all it's about. What you value, and it has been proven time and time again, as Ed alluded to, that the men who are willing to sacrifice the most, they're the ones that get the rings. Tom Brady, when he was younger, he was just out there playing. He was trying to improve. He was practicing. When he got older, to keep his body healthy, to keep winning rings and keep his team competitive, he sacrificed so much as far as joy. No alcohol, no ice cream, no bread, no car. That is a
No, the ice cream was avocado ice cream.
Right, no real ice cream. No real ice cream.
Right.
I fasted. Y'all know the genes that are in our blood from Eddie Roy, right? I fasted and done all. It is very hard to be strict
I fasted
on
a
your
weekend.
diet. And I can imagine it's even harder when you're rich and you can do whatever you want. That's the level at which this man was willing to sacrifice this.
You gotta respect it. You gotta respect it. You gotta
It's
respect
crazy.
it.
It's crazy.
How much-
Because you have another a man that
going
shall
to
remain
the food
nameless that I keep seeing on videos out at midnight at food trucks. Okay, I've seen that. And I'm like, okay.
Lamar, wait a minute. Say that one more
I
time.
see a video of a young man, a young quarterback that
like
shall
being
remain
extreme,
nameless,
man.
who's getting paid handsomely, who's out in the middle of the night at food trucks. You know, I avoid food trucks, and I'm not a professional athlete. I just do this for my own health. That's not
Right.
That's not going to help you perform well. You know,
Yes,
and
sir.
that same athlete, mind you, keeps getting sick every year. So these weird sicknesses where I've been watching football a long time, and playing recreationally, and watching, you know, high school games. You rarely see a player. This rarely happens. People get injured, but you rarely see a player that morning of the game or the night before say, "I'm too sick to play." That almost never happens.
Right.
In the NFL,
It's-
high school, rec league, college,
There's something leading up to it, and you'll know Wednesday or Thursday, right?
right?
It's
You're
an
not-
easy reason.
You're
'Cause he
not
like being on the
living right.
street.
Yeah, you're not
He
living
like
right.
being on the street. He a Florida boy. He like being out there hanging with the yos. That's what it is.
You ain't
So,
living right,
you know,
man. And if you're being invested in to this amount, you have to be so strict with your diet. You got to be strict with everything. No weed, no food trucks. Limit the junk. Limit the alcohol, or totally cut it out like some players have done. But it's about what it goes back to. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice, man.
He can afford any diet that he wants.
Meal.
He can afford it.
Derrick Henry hired a chef. And I know several
Yeah.
players, I've read about several players that have done that. And if you have the money to do it, then so be it. If I had the money to do it, I would do it. Somebody to cook me healthy meals I don't have to worry about it. You have those resources, man. It's about what you're willing to sacrifice. And Ed is right on point. The players that were willing to sacrifice that is no coincidence, man. The Kansas City
Yeah.
Chiefs, prior to this AFC Championship 2026, they were in the past 5, I believe. That is an insane stat. That's almost more impressive to me than the Super Bowls. To maintain that level of consistency. You're in that. The AFC Championship was in Kansas. It like literally.
No, he made 7 straight AFC Championship
seven?
games
Okay.
and 5 Super Bowls.
Fine.
Because he lost in his rookie year to Brady, and he lost to Cincy in the playoff game.
Well, I
The
mean,
year since he went to the Super Bowl to lose to the Rams, they beat the Chiefs in Arrowhead. So those are the two.
how many
The other
games they have to
5.
win? How many games they have to win to get there every
2.
year? 2. And look at their division. So they got to buy every year for most of that time, right? So
That's true.
Game,
The AFC West wasn't this strong
yeah,
as like they are now.
you got to frame this context. I mean,
Okay, I didn't think about
I'm
that.
gonna disagree with you there, Percy, because you
No,
know
the AFC West was bad. They were bad.
No, it was, but this is why I'm gonna disagree. Division games are different. You all know this. So even though the Browns, you know, have sucked since 1999, since they came back,
They give
pretty
both of
much.
us a hard time.
Right. Division game different.
well,
So
it
they've
depends on the matchup
dominated.
they draw.
They've dominated their division in order to get that record to get home field.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna still give them credit, man. I'm not gonna
So
chalk
you
it up.
play fewer games, but to your point, I mean,
Well, Sean, here's the thing. I'm going to give a little bit more attention to what Percy's saying. I'm not dogging KC because division games are tough. However, if in Mahomes' first 7 or 8 years, his divisional record was like 26-2. or 26-4. In 30 divisional games, he won 26 of them. In like the first 6 and 7. That's kind of indicative of what the division is.
No, Neil, I think that's more indicative of Patrick Mahomes, in my opinion.
No, again, I'm not. We're not talking about Mahomes' greatness. We know he's great. I'm talking about how bad a division. If 8 divisions in the NFL, where would you have ranked their division in the 8? Okay. And during Mahomes's, his run.
It would be one of the lower.
Well, they weren't over 6. They were either 6th, 7th, or 8th.
Even if I concede the point that the AFC West say was the worst division, and I'm not saying it. I agree with that, but let's.
No, I don't think they were the worst, but they were down there.
Let's say it was the worst division in the NFL. So what?
Okay.
That'll show when the Chiefs make it to the playoffs. They'll get exposed for being the frauds they are.
Yeah. I'm not saying that that's an indictment on them. It's just
you saying exposed. We're not saying the Chiefs were fraudulent.
No.
Yeah, we were just the subject was the sorriness of the AFC West, and it's not saying because look, when Brady was with New England, they won the AFC East for 20 straight years.
Same deal. So again, I'm saying that.
Sean, can you imagine winning your division for 2 decades straight?
Yeah. So that's context.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. They did what they were supposed to do. Then when they get to the division round,
they asked Brady.
The only time they should have lost, because they own Buffalo. The only time they should have lost, and they still didn't, was against the Ravens 3 years ago. Was it 3 years ago now?
Yeah. Right.
They should have lost their game. We were sitting right here, Sean.
Yep.
The game was ours, and they gave it away.
We just mentioned Tom Brady. They asked Brady when he was in his heyday, going to Super Bowls every other years and winning. And a media member had asked him, well, Tom, how do you feel about your division? If you play in the AFC North, and Brady was like, I don't care.
That's what I'm saying. That's my point.
Brady was like, well, name those other teams. He mentioned the Broncos, the Ravens, Steelers. I'm beating them, Marner.
And so right. And this is the excuse-making generation. Nobody's accountable. Nobody's wrong. Soon we are going to look up the word wrong in the dictionary. They are going
and it's going to be gone. They better not.
That is so true. That is very true.
Keep making excuses. Okay. The Patriots got a sorry division. They keep on having the best record. Okay. What happens when they get to the playoffs? They beat everybody.
They do what they're supposed to do.
The entire NFL is sorry. Are you
No.
with the Chiefs? So since they have a sorry division, and
I think you're kind of you've parlayed it into the subject matter was
the AFC Championship.
No. The subject matter what we parlayed into was the AFC West, and now they actually got a couple good teams now. With Bronco and San Diego, and the Chiefs are still good. Into the Patriots winning 20 straight divisions, or 21. And this year is actually the first year in 8 that the Chiefs haven't won it. So they won the AFC West like 7. And again, by me saying those in those eras, the divisions were sorry, because I see you kind of thinking it's an indictment on Brady and Mahomes when I'm not. I know it's not. But I still can acknowledge that if you are New England, and for 2 decades you got home field advantage, that's a really good thing for you. They were going 15-1 and 14-2. They won 18 straight games against Buffalo. The Bills went 15 years and didn't beat New England. 15 years? That's supposed to be your number 1 rival. The Dolphins were bad. Huh? You see what I'm saying? In other words, I know you saying the Ravens.
Hey, Neil in person, let me just ask you this. And I'm playing devil's advocate here. I'm trying to make it.
That's fine.
Yeah, I'm trying to create.
Well, it's no debate, Sean. It's no. I don't.
So okay, if you take Mahomes, right?
Uh-huh.
in the AFC North. Put the Chiefs in the AFC North for the past. When did he come in?
On what team?
2017. You don't think it'd be the same result?
Would he win the AFC North 8 straight times?
No way. Make it to the AFC Championship.
Make it to the
8 straight times.
Oh, well, Mahomes went. Yeah, he would still be incredibly successful.
I'm not following your
He would still be. No, I think I know where he's going with it. Which team would he be?
Well, no, I'm saying put the Chiefs in there. So this is
the Chiefs in there.
Okay. You didn't say that at first. You didn't say that. I thought you were saying let him quarterback Cleveland. Or let him quarterback the Bengals. With their defense.
No.
Okay.
If he quarterback the Ravens and Steelers, I think it'd be the same result. But the way this conversation started was I mentioned that he made it to the AFC Championship. I said 5 times. You corrected me and said 7.
7 straight.
Right, you're right. That's how this started. And then,
that's phenomenal.
And then Cuz said, well, you got to take into account, I'm paraphrasing, how sorry his division was, right? That's how it started.
Right.
I'm saying, so my question to you is, you take the Chiefs with Mahomes, take that team, Andy Arlen. You put them in AFC North, or any division. Yeah. Forget AFC North, any division. Do you think he would still be in the AFC Championship 7 straight times or no?
Well, if the Chiefs face the Ravens and the Steelers,
any division.
Yeah, now I gotta give you some kickback on that. The answer is no. I think if you put the Chiefs in the AFC North, and you gotta see the Ravens twice and the Steelers twice, so you gotta play those teams 4, and they're gonna sweep us all. Because to be in the AFC Championship game, you're gonna have to go against just our 2 teams, 3-1 or 4-0. If you go 2-2, then you're just like everybody else.
No.
Forget the record. They gonna get beat up. I don't care. You can win and just be beat the crap up, right? And then the next team you play,
this is what
beat up.
Right. This is what we're talking about. How many times do y'all say it's different in the AFC North? Y'all say that.
It is.
I say it too. Right. So how different? It's different for everybody else but them. If they see the Ravens. If they're in the AFC North and they see the Ravens twice a year, they gonna sweep y'all every year.
No,
think about that.
But Mill, you don't have to. You don't have to beat the Ravens once during the regular season. You just have to look. You know the something I noticed about Mr. Mahomes there, and I noticed about Eli and Joe too, and Ben. They win in the regular season, but they aren't too concerned about that. They really aren't.
They play on quarterbacks.
I've seen Josh Allen beat Mahomes, I believe, the past 2 or 3 times in the regular season.
In the regular season.
So you.
I got you.
Mahomes could lose to Lamar and Aaron Rodgers or Duck Dodgers, whoever the devil Steelers trotting out there. He could lose, right? He could go on the road. I've seen that man.
Because he's done it.
I've seen that man. And this is so. When I don't know if y'all remember when Mahomes first came into the league, I was in Miami. I don't know if you remember this, Mill. I was talking to you and my son. And you and my son were trying to. I don't watch college, but you and Zaya do, and Percy does. And
I like what I saw in college. I
didn't know who the devil he was. So y'all like, I'm telling you about this Mahomes. I'm like, whatever.
Oh yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So playmaker in the regular season, and I'm like, all right, let the league get a year tape on him. I mean, I'm not talking like that. I'm like, let him get a year. I'm big on the year.
Actually, I don't remember that, Sean. I don't remember that at all.
They were trying to tell me. So his second year, Lamar was a rookie. Mahomes was his second, but it was Mahomes' first year actually playing. First year he redshirted. He said,
yeah, he came in.
Yeah, the Ravens went to Kansas City. It was like 10 degrees and like flurries and crap. And the Ravens blatantly had the better team, better defense, better running game, better team. And I know who this Mahomes guy was. Y'all were trying to tell me. The Ravens, because this is when we had Matthew Judon, Terrell Suggs, and Darius Smith or somebody. We were the third. Yeah, it was those 3. 3 great pass rushes. We were rushing 3 and 4 the whole game. It was when we had the personnel to do that. They proceeded to beat the crap out that. They beat the devil out of Mahomes that game. And I'm sitting there like, all right, he kept getting up, making throws. I'm like, it's going to get to him. It's going to get to him. Fourth quarter, I'm sitting there, it's going to get to him. Right? It's going to get to him. So it went into overtime. That game went into overtime in 2018. And Lamar was playing, balling. Chiefs went up, Lamar tied it, went into overtime. They slammed Mahomes on his neck. Late hits, picking him up.
And he just kept coming
back.
Yeah,
okay.
That's what he does. I
didn't really know who he was at the time, but I've seen that type of guy before. You could put that man in the AFC North, the AFC Moon. You could put him on the moon playing again.
He'll find a way to get it done.
Matter. People like
I
that.
got you, sir.
It don't matter.
I hear you.
It's a different breed, man. Brady the same way. Ben was like that. Joe was like that. Eli.
Ben was like that. Y'all, nobody beat Ben on more than the Ravens.
It don't matter.
Y'all destroyed that, and he
kept coming back.
He just kept coming
like
back.
That Friday the 13th movie with Jason. Remember that? It's like
Right.
It's like that. It's very disheartening for the opposing fans and defense. So yeah, I say all that to say that I think that young man.
I agree with that. Greatness is greatness. Greatness is greatness, no matter what division you play in.
I mentioned a little while ago the copycat league.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if this Super Bowl is. Let's say Sam Darnold. Let's say Seattle wins this game, and let's say Sam Darnold doesn't even really have a spectacular game. Is the league going to say, do we really need to pay a quarterback $55 million a year?
They should say that.
I've been saying
thinking about it.
Yeah. I know, Shaw, you've been saying that, and you know how. And now Percy's on board too. But
Absolutely.
Is the league going to?
Here's the issue, Ed. Here's the issue, and I'm going to answer this straight from a dollars and cents perspective. Here's the problem. The NFL salary cap jumps every year, goes up. This year, from 25 to 26 is one of the biggest jumps since they started a salary cap in the early 90s. But I'm going to make a point, though. Here's the issue. Not so much a retread like Sam Darnold, who was happy to get 30-something million from the Seahawks. That's his fifth or 16th. I'm not talking about a retread who found a home. I'm talking about a franchise quarterback you draft in the first round out of college. Here's the issue. Let's say Drake May wins it, and it's possible that he could. This is just his second year. So he has 2 more years before they decide to pick up his 5th-year option. Let's say they pick it up, and Drake May says, you know what? I like this defense we got. The salary cap structure in 3 years, by the time it's time to pay Drake May, it's going to be way different than it is now. 60 isn't going to be as egregious now as it is back then. So let's say Drake May does what the boy in Seattle, Sam Darnold, does. Say, you know what? I'll take 38 instead of 60. The problem is you're setting precedents for other quarterbacks who don't have your principle. In other words, the greatest quarterback in NFL history could be in middle school right now. He's going to say, when it's time for me to get paid, hey, I want my, and by the time he gets in the league, it's going to be 70. Well, Drake May took 38. That's what his agent's going to be like. I don't care what Drake, the most important position in football, you got to be careful taking less. I'm not saying be a selfish hog, but you can't set precedents for future generations because you want to win now. I know it sounds terrible, but you can't do it.
Think about future generations. What the boys think about?
No. Yes, they are. Then why quarterback salaries keep going up, nephew?
I'm talking about the player. They could care less, bro.
No,
you know what?
I'm talking about the quarterback.
What quarterback is thinking about future generations?
I think you're missing the point. A quarterback who wants to take less is going to be told by Jared Goff, who's at 60, Tua, who's at 60, Kyler Murray's at 50, high 50s. You see what I'm saying? They gonna be like, wait a minute. You can't. You see what I'm saying?
You talking about the agent? You talking about the agent?
No, the actual players too.
Right, no, but
Not every player is like that. We just talked about that. Not every player is like that.
No, but
yeah, because he's talking about the older guys that have been around. I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think you're talking about the older guys who've been around the block getting in the young guys' ear saying you can't lower the standard salary.
Because you're going to set a new precedent.
Right, I see what you're saying.
The salary structure. You absolutely, that's how it starts.
Percy, actually, now one thing I do know about this, what Mill is saying, and I am with him on this, the players' union won't be happy about it.
You can't.
I agree with that.
You can drop a little, but you can't go from 60 to 40.
That's why they were so pissed off about Deshaun Watson. That's why
that was you can go the wrong way. You can go the wrong way.
Yeah. You're setting a precedent.
Here's the question that I need to ask you. Does Brady and Mahomes care what the players' union say about it?
Here's the difference.
It's not across the board.
I'm going to tell you why nobody has a problem with Brady and Mahomes doing it. And those two are good, but for generational football, they weren't in the same generation, number one. One was on the way out, and one was just starting. So you can't have two quarterbacks winning all the Super Bowls and then deciding to take less money. Brady was practically retired. I know when he beat Mahomes, he had like 3 more years before he got to Tampa. Then he was out.
He's done it his whole career.
And there are a lot of quarterbacks that will take less, and they call it, I guess it's a terminology for it, called deferred money. My issue, I don't care that Roethlisberger took a team-friendly deal once. Brady's done it. Mahomes isn't even in the top 10. The issue is how much you drop. So the two quarterbacks in the Super Bowl right now, one is a rookie or second year, and Donald is at like, do you realize Tua makes twice as much as him?
Yeah.
He doubles his salary. There are 3 quarterbacks who didn't even make the playoffs, make twice as what Sam Donald does. So all I'm saying is, since we have 4 quarterbacks, Dak, Tua, Goff, Prescott is up there. We got 4 quarterbacks that makes at least $60 million a year, and none of them made the playoffs. Oh, but Birdie's not in 6 though. I'm talking about this elite class of $60 million. 4, and all of them are out the playoffs. So there's a balance. I think there's a balancing to it. The reason why guys like Mahomes can take less, because he's won Super Bowl, so nobody's going to say anything to him about it. But if you are a rookie quarterback, and if you're Drake, man, when it comes time for you to get paid, and you take something like over the life of your contract, which is going to be 6 or 7 years, $20 million less, it's not going to happen. He can't take that much less.
Actually, he can if he wants to, Mill.
You just said the union won't allow it, and
No. I said they won't be happy.
Okay.
They can't do anything about
that.
They ain't got no power over that, right?
Right. Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Add to the fact that the NFL has the weakest union in all of sports. So
they do. The players' union is weak.
Look, you want to do something? Get us a better pension. Stop adding regular season games.
Add another bye week.
Lower the salaries, but make the salaries guaranteed, like baseball and the NBA. So you lower the salary so that more you can spread the wealth around a little bit more. Lower quarterbacks, but just make it. I think if I was a quarterback, I would take a much lower salary, total salary, if the funds were guaranteed.
Money's guaranteed.
Yeah, they're just worried about the guaranteed money.
It's different with quarterback too. I know we always pat a quarterback on the back for taking less, but you have longevity on your side. You know what I'm saying? You can play 15 years. Middle linebackers, defensive linemen, offensive linemen, you're not going to play 15.
Yeah,
so it's a little eschewed with quarterbacks.
Absolutely.
If you take less it shouldn't be as egregious. Because my nose tackle ain't taking less. He in the trenches for 500 plays a year. Ain't no way.
He's in the.
Yeah, he should.
How about this? I got an idea. Actually, I remember doing this a couple of years ago. We have a salary cap, right? At some point, we need to have a quarterback cap. You know, because
a separate cap.
A quarterback cap. Yeah, I like it.
That's interesting.
These guys are killing their team. They are killing their team.
And I'm so glad. No, I'm sorry, I didn't cut you off here. I'm just going to say, I'm so glad it's finally getting exposed. I've been waiting for this day. I've been waiting for years, man. I've been waiting for. I hope so bad the Seahawks win a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I hope they
I hope so bad.
It's gonna.
Expose it. Expose it all.
I don't think it's going to change anything. I don't think it's going to change what some. I'm not saying
it might not, but it might not, but at least it will prove a point. It'll prove a point at the very least. That look,
I mean, it's happened before, right?
Yeah, it has. But it hasn't happened. Right, it hasn't happened recently though, right? True. It has gotten so hard. The teams that have won the Super Bowl have had the super quarterbacks, man, the great guys that are more likely going to Hall of Fame. You got, what's the last 10? What you got? Mahomes and Stafford and Jalen Hurts. I put them up there. Yeah, I know y'all don't put them up there, but I put Hurts up there. So those are the guys that are winning the Super Bowls, man. So if Sam freaking Darnold, I would be so happy. I'm going to run around the street with a sandwich board because I'm going to go to work and I'm going to scream in everybody's face that was criticizing me. Everybody wanted to hang me in the barbershop, at work, at the fantasy draft meal. Man, I was arguing with Aaron. Everybody want to hang me and try to trade Lamar. And I'm like, look, man, this is called football. It's called football. It's not called hardball, passball, handball. You can have a great D, okay, and a good running game. You can win.
Yeah. I hear you.
And I'm trying to tell y'all,
I hear you.
When we sit down at the table with this man again, it seems like every other year we're doing this with Lamar. They're about to redo his contract again because his cap hit is too high. If he starts
75.
talking crazy, and Bashadi like this. Bashadi wants Lamar to be happy, but then he's gonna say, "Man, Seattle just won the Super Bowl with Sam Darnold." And Lamar, you asking for what again? Yeah, I want this. Right. I want this. I deserve it. And if this conversation goes left, I'm telling you, bro, I'm trying to tell you, it will be an emergency broadcast in the middle of the day. Everybody gonna stop what they do.
Everybody gonna be at work. We gonna log on, right?
We got Max Crosby and 4 first-round picks from the Raiders.
Here you go with this 4 first-round picks.
By the way, you heard Max went out. He asked to get traded.
Yeah, he was out. Yeah.
There you go. Yeah. Look, man, if Darnold wins this year, that'll be 2 years in a row where the elite guys, none of the elite guys that most people call elite, win. Because I put Hurts up there, but most people don't put Hurts up there. So that'll be 2 years in a row that teams have won with a great D, good coaching, great running game, and a quarterback that just doesn't screw you over.
And Sean,
just serviceable.
I'm going to do you one better, Sean. Take this season, for example. We most of us agree the 5 best quarterbacks are the guys in the AFC and Matt Stafford. They the 5
Matt Stafford.
In the NFL.
I agree with that.
Most people agree with that.
Right.
Matt Stafford is the only one that went far. Burrow didn't make the playoffs. Lamar didn't make the playoffs. Mahomes, and I don't want to hear that he got hurt because they was about to miss the playoffs before he did.
They were 6-7 when he got hurt.
And, and Josh Allen got beat in the divisional round by Bo Nix.
Bo Nix.
So, come on now. Do you really need to pay this guy all this money?
No.
Right.
They didn't have to do it the first time. Shouldn't have done it.
I'm trying to move on into the Hall of Fame section of the podcast, and you about to get Sean started back up.
They keep circling back. They can't.
I know. Sean, I agree with you about the whole perspective. We were talking about before you logged on the best way to do it. The ultra superstar franchise quarterback that can make enough plays if you have holes in your roster like a Mahomes, or stack the cupboard and let Sam Darnold. I like the way Seattle does it because you're just not going to find that superstar stud number one quarterback. It's not that many of them.
Yeah,
You can draft, huh?
But if he has a bad game,
Yeah, yeah.
you know, all you gotta do is
All or nothing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. I hear you.
Can I close that thought on one?
Yeah, and go ahead.
Let me take two quarterbacks. Take Caleb Williams and
I like him.
you mentioned Jalen Hurts. Now we
Mm-hmm.
know what Caleb Williams is. He's got a lot of potential. This
He's a playmaker.
that he made fourth and whatever that clutch play
Against Green Bay, that was amazing. That was amazing.
Jalen Hurts, we've never seen him do something like that in a moment like that. But on the flip side, Jalen Hurts wouldn't have turned right around and he wouldn't have made the bonehead play that Caleb Williams made to lose the game. Jalen Hurts wouldn't have did that either. So at the end of the day, you gotta ask yourself what you want.
What you
From
want?
your quarterback.
Right.
I want my quarterback to take care of the ball.
Yes.
I don't want a Brett Favre. I don't want a Brett Favre on my team. Sorry, no. You can throw 75 yards on a flip. You can also lead the NFL in interceptions in NFL history for quarterbacks. No, I don't need that.
Bro, give me Eli over Peyton any day, and I don't care.
Absolutely.
Say how crazy.
I agree. I know Ed agrees. I know Ed agrees.
Give me Eli.
I do, but you better have what that quarterback needs. See, in other words, Kurt Warner needed. Sometimes Kurt Warner turned the ball over, but he had to do what he had to do in order to. If you put Eli on that team, Eli wouldn't have won Super Bowls with the Rams, with those Rams teams. You understand what I'm saying to you?
I got you. I see what you're saying.
Well, you talking about the greatest show on turf team?
The greatest show on turf. Eli.
Well, no, they had a good D and they had Marshall Faulk. Eli would have won with that team. You don't think so?
Eli would not have won as quarterback of the greatest show on turf. Like he
Really?
could not do what Kurt Warner and Shaw did.
Oh, God.
Back to the example I just gave about Caleb Williams and Jalen Hurts. I like Jalen
I got
Hurts,
you.
but he can't do what
Okay.
Caleb Williams does.
You know what? I would just say this. I think this would have happened. I think they would have just ran the devil out the ball like they did with Eli and his two champions. I think Marshall Faulk. Well, it's all speculation.
Look,
It's all
Eli
speculation.
was
But
the perfect quarterback for those Giant teams.
Giants team, yeah,
And
yeah.
Eli could have won with those Roethlisberger Steeler teams. And
I got you.
could have won with those
With those Giants teams,
yeah,
yeah.
you got a point there. You got a point.
I see what you're
style.
saying.
Yeah, it's a different style of play. It's a different style of
Yeah,
play.
it is. It is.
Eli could have won with the Ravens team. He could have won with that team. Yeah.
Oh, I see what you're saying. The style, the philosophy. Okay, I didn't think about that. All right. Well, look, we off for that show. We're gonna change the format up. I'm gonna exit out of this episode, and we're gonna go start a brand new one because we only got about a half an hour left.
Okay.
I'm gonna start a brand new one, and we're gonna talk Hall of Fame. So I appreciate everybody's thoughts. Y'all stay tuned. Stand by.